Actually, it is.
Oh, thank you. You're on me.
Can you say a prayer?
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for a place called Fairfield Bay. We thank you for the residents that live here. We ask for wisdom tonight as we consider these things for us. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we cancel Adams? I still know.
Looks like it.
All right.
Let the city council meeting, October 13th, 2025, come to order.
We need to go back to screen.
A public screen.
That's right. Well, I'm going to call roll first.
Okay.
Roger Hooper,
Here.
Sandra Crowder,
Here.
Ruth Cross, Richard Matthews,
Here.
Patty Lightner,
Here.
and Bella Thomas.
Here.
And I wanted to make a motion to accept the city council minutes from September 8th, 2025.
Oh, wait, there's more.
We're going to approve the agenda.
Okay, I would like to move to amend the agenda to add in consideration of the letter on the bids for the UTV grant. If you want me to put that at the end of the meeting.
Consideration for what?
After the short-term rental.
Yeah. Oh, the letter we got from the architect on the UTV grant bids.
Okay.
You got it in front of you. Okay, sure, we've made a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay,
Now the appropriate time to
No,
approve
we
the
gotta wait
minutes.
for
Okay, I just want to make,
Or, I'm sorry, approve the agenda.
oh, I just want to make a motion to,
She moved to amend it.
Oh, okay.
Now we move the,
Approve it.
right, approval of the agenda as
I make a
amended.
motion to approve it.
Second.
Discussion? No, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Then I'm going to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Other comments?
All right, public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person at any one time. Public comment periods are not unlimited public forums. All public comments should be limited to agenda items of the city council or other matters of concern to the city itself or otherwise made an issue by an elected official at the meeting. So I'm going to go into the mayor's comments real quick. Before we begin, I just want to say that we have made an offer to someone to be the director of the conference center. And the offer was graciously accepted, which is what we'll be discussing today. And I just want to say we had a lot of great applicants, but this was, I think, a very good decision, and we have a lot of support for this pick. So, all right, that's all I have. Let's go on to the next issue. Approval of minutes.
Now I make a motion to approve the minutes for September 8th, 2025.
And what you have on your desk is just a few little corrections I had to do from the minutes you received.
Okay.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Let's see the financials already.
Make it quick. I'm just kidding.
A lot. I will make it quick. Okay, general has $81,741 in their regular account. The money market has $82,733 for a total of $164,475. Street is a total of $302,559. And the bond check $1. Events, that'll be off next month because we're down to 0. The jail incarceration is $1425.57. The fire department total funds is $1,666,073. Too many sixes in there. AFP is $49,000. Historic preservation is $24.51. Franchise fee, we were at $240,000. Campsite is just, it kind of goes up and down, and it's pretty much consistent with 47. Animal support is $12,847. And as you can see, we're up a little bit in the counties, but we're down in the city. So what would that be, Roger? July? No? August. I was thinking last time we did it.
Can I ask you to go back to
You're right, that is July. This is more September.
Because we received that in the end of September. Yeah.
So on the first slide, which on the street, yeah. I just want to make sure that we point out that street, your subtotal, that's going to be lower than the amount of the bid we're going to talk about later. But my understanding is that they will be able to arrange the timing so we'll still be able to pay for it. Right?
Yeah.
Make sure that everybody makes the connection.
And that's the thing, by the time this stuff is done, it might be next year. So, and we're going to get a lot more money in the meantime before then. Okay? Any questions? Yes.
Just for clarification, that this is fund balances, this is not budget balances.
That's a clarification. Thank you.
Is that correct?
Right, it's fund balances, but.
Fund balances, not budget balances. Thank you.
Officer Horton?
Yes, sir.
Hey, wait, somebody has to do me up.
Oh, we have to move, I'll move.
Second.
This is a
Discussion?
motion to approve minutes.
Move the financial. Yeah. There was been Bella, and then I said discussion.
Not enough caffeine.
And nothing to do. Sorry. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
I'm Bo Horton, I'm the sergeant with the police department. Chief McCool is out.
Speak up.
Hey, is the...
Yeah, here, turn that on.
There it is. Sabotage. My name's Bo Horton, I'm the sergeant with the police department. Chief McCool is out for a little while for medical reasons, so he sent me in his stead. We have successfully completed our firearms training for the year. The department qualified with pistols, shotguns, and rifles. And the pistol average has went up significantly to 478 out of 500 since the purchase of our new firearms in the last couple of years. We received our new body cams and have gotten to issue them out and have been in use. This includes code enforcement. They also have their body cams that we have as well. We've been approved for $20,000 reimbursement grant with the 2026 STEP program from the state police. We worked a DWI enforcement campaign in August, and we have received the reimbursement check from that mobilization, correct? Ms.
Yes,
Rossi?
yes.
Okay. Stats-wise...
And it wasn't very much. The next one, it was like 25 something.
The training hours this last month was 91 hours. There was 18 citations, 83 traffic stops. Animal control calls, we had 7 calls with 1 canine taken to the animal shelter. There was 72 warnings, 682 extra patrols. There was 3 accidents, 15 welfare checks, 29 reports. 1 agency assist, 12 motorist assists, and 4,246 miles driven on patrol. Any questions?
So, like with the STEP program, that's to reimburse overtime work, correct?
Yes.
And so you said that we did get approved for the grant,
Yes.
and then there was some overtime work with the DWI thing.
Yes, sir.
That was till September 30th? Or was it August? Yeah, and we've already,
Yes.
they already applied for it, so we've received reimbursement for that.
So will there, that $20,000, will that be going forward? Because I know we're gonna be talking about.
Yes, we'll have to pay it out and then they'll be.
Yes, that'll be, and from what I understand, that should be the year of 2026, that $20,000. There's 10 mobilizations for the
Right.
year. Each of them will be for a different thing, whether it be DWI, speed, distracted driving,
Right.
that sort of thing. It's a state police and National Highway Safety Institute program.
Right,
So they've approved us,
yeah.
said that we're good to work it. We'll just have to,
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Would there be a way to like include a line item on there, the step hours worked and that way? I don't know.
Yeah,
if
you'd
that's
have to do it
feasible
on
or
your
not.
end.
I mean, we have to keep log of all
You
the
do have
hours
to keep
worked.
log on that?
It's very, very specific way they want it logged.
Okay.
So I'm sure Chief McCool and Assistant Chief will be able to figure that one out.
Yeah.
To be able to provide you with that.
Okay, if I could just clarify, so it's federal fiscal year, so October 1, 2025 to September 30th, 2026, that's their fiscal
Fiscal
2026.
year. Okay,
Federal fiscal.
federal year. Okay.
All right, anything else?
Wait a minute, does the council have any questions? Martin, yes.
This is
Yes.
just another clarifying thing. So based on 135 calls or incidents, 7 of them are related to animal control, which is about 5% of that type of activity. Are you saying it right?
This month, yes.
Cool, thank you.
It changes,
Depending on.
yes.
Understood, thank you.
So you had one call for the animals?
No, there was
Seven of
There were
one.
7 calls, but one
One
actually was
incarceration.
taking a canine to town.
One arrest.
Okay.
There you go.
Incarceration.
Thank you.
Incarceration.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mitch?
Good afternoon, I'm Fire Marshal Mitchell. I'm sitting in for Chief Paulson. He's conducting training tonight, CPR training for the fire department. First slide. As far as calls for service, we had 52, 31 were medical, 10 lift assists, 4 landing zones, 1 grass fire in Fairfield Bay, 2 fire public service calls, 2 traffic control calls, 1 search and rescue, and 1 motor vehicle accident. Accomplishments have and will continue to collect food items for the area food banks. Items will be dropped off at DPS building. Started the process of burning the quarry. Probably saw some black smoke on Thursday. We did the smoking the bear routine and got the debris burned. As far as the fire marshal's office, we've had 2 structure fires in Van Buren County, which were investigated by the fire marshal's office, and we completed 1 fire inspection in Fairfield Bay for the month. Plans and issues, we're still getting ready for the ISO audit. That's been getting ready for the last year and a half. We do not know when that's going to happen. We do have Chief Doug Furman he's been coming up to just make sure that our files are good, because the ISO audit is very important for all the homeowners here in Fairfield Bay, because if we can get our ISO rating dropped, which we expect to, that'll drop our insurance premiums.
Is that a federal program?
The ISO?
Yeah.
The ISO is actually the National Insurance Association. They're the ones that look at the ISO audits to determine for your geographic area what your fire rating will be.
Okay, so is that like under the government or is that?
No, it's independent.
Okay.
We're starting driver's training for all new firefighters. We have completed the annual hose testing. And as far as my office goes, we're assisting the fire department, which the fire marshal office is the part of the fire department. So, as far as plans and issues locating a facility for reoccurring live fire training exercises, we really would like to get that thing started to get us a little facility over there next to DPS where we can actually do some physical training. Yeah.
What's keeping y'all, what barriers have we got to doing that?
I think it's the land issue, number one.
Yeah.
Getting the land granted over to the city so that we can actually, start looking at clearing it off and building a complex over there. Because, they've been wanting to put some box cars over there so that we can actually do fire training, light fires inside of it and go ahead and attack it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be great, not only would it be great for the city, but it would also be fantastic for the county, other urban or rural firefighters.
Is there a possibility that if we had something like that I know they have fire training around the state and to go and actually train to be a firefighter, if we could have something like that in Fairfield Bay, you could have groups coming on a regular basis?
Yes, that's one of the goals is to, once the facility is constructed, is to have the Arkansas Fire Training Academy accreditation so that we actually can have that type of fire training here in Fairfield Bay. It'd be fantastic.
How long does that last? Does it last like a week or something?
It can last for a week, it can last for 4 weeks.
So I mean, you're
Depending on
talking
the type of
hotels, you're talking restaurants,
Yep,
and you can schedule them during the off season.
yes.
So who has the land that we're using?
I don't know that information. That's the Chief Paulson question. But I do know that they were looking at property right across from DPS. Yeah, right next, where Survival Flight is. If you're looking at Survival Flight, it'd be on to the left-hand side.
Okay.
There's several acres over in that area that they were hoping to acquire.
Is that private property?
I think so.
Lisa.
I don't think it's in Fairfield Bay.
Yeah,
I wonder if it
don't know.
belongs to, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, but these are it's our wish list.
Yeah, which I think is a very good goal because it would be beneficial to the city, it'd be beneficial to business. The hotel, it's a win-win-win, bringing people here to train.
It's a win-win-win for basically everyone, and I think there was some discussions of actually getting a shooting range over in that area too.
Yeah.
So that we wouldn't have to go, the police department wouldn't have to go all the way to Mountain View to do it. I mean, there's so many benefits to that.
Sure.
That's really all I have. Any questions?
I need a clarification. When you talked about food going to the food pantries and banks, can you tell us which ones you're giving that to? Because there's multiple.
Yes. When food does come in, it's up to the fire chief and the chiefs to distribute it out, and it's who needs the food. And if you guys need it, we'll be more than happy to bring it over to you.
We have never received any from the fire department.
Okay, well, that's one thing that we can do. Be more than happy to. It's not like we get a lot of food dumped on us, but when we do, we'll be more than happy to make sure that you guys are right there. Okay, I'll make a note of that. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Planning Commission.
There's something, there's Superman else.
That's exactly.
That was his favorite part of the job.
Yeah, can you tell he's so excited?
I call him Superman Dallas.
Good evening, everyone. I don't have my cheat sheets and I'm getting my bifocals. These are all short-term rental renewals at 310 Lakeview Drive, 108 Deer Run Trail, 218 Greenwood Road, and they all passed the planning commission. Positions need to be filled. We still need alternates on the board for Ward 1 and 3.
So if anyone knows of anyone that would like to do that, please let us know.
What boundaries are wards 1 and 3?
Would you like a map?
I really would like to know which ones are.
The two that are not in two.
Yeah.
You're a politician now.
I myself have to go back and look at the map because I don't know all the.
You're one, and Patty's one, so it's Mountain Range.
I'm 3,
One down.
I'm by the marine and
Three is down there.
Chelsea Condo.
Bella and Sandra.
You can look it up online.
We don't have
Where you
any.
are.
If you want to be an alternate, I'll give you the map.
Commerce Club.
Yeah, you can put me down. I'll put my name in there as an alternate.
On 1?
1. Here's Ward 3.
Great.
And 2. And this is your,
Yeah, I'm over there in Ward 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm qualified.
That's us.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go, Dallas.
There you go, we got one alternate.
Okay.
they'll have to do, don't they have to do it, doesn't planning have to accept it first?
Yeah.
They
And
need to
then
run
they come
through
to
planning,
us.
and they'll have to go up to the next.
Yeah.
city council.
So you have to.
I'll push my resume to them.
Any other questions for the planning commission?
I kind of have
Yes,
one,
ma'am.
and I'm sure it's probably not you, but how, Ward 1, how do we get the sides of our roads trimmed? They're
Grass.
grass, they're like knee-high.
Down by the Mountain Range
And
School.
Down Branch.
I think that'd be Dallas, right?
And we've got
I mean, not Dallas,
two
Roy.
timeshare
Community club.
Roy.
facilities.
You have to call Amy and ask for their input.
But that's not you, I know.
That's through the resort utilities, through the road.
So we just
Grass
call the
cutting.
report office.
Yes.
In court order.
Yep.
60/20.
Any other questions for
Dallas,
Patty?
I do have one. Who is responsible if a home is for sale and it's been on the market for X amount of months and the grass is as tall as my waist? Who's responsible, the homeowner or the realtor that's got the
Homeowner,
homeowner? There's a lot of,
always.
yeah, there's a lot of homes, especially over in my area, that have been for sale for a while, been vacant. And the grass is like getting waist high.
Okay. We'll take a run through there and look at those. Now, a lot of times they are for sale. Sometimes I'll contact the real estate, say you're trying to sell it, would you like to, get that cut? And if, depending on what their response is, then we just proceed with if it's tall grass and it's a code violation, then we send out a violation to the owner.
Good question. Okay.
Ward 1.
Any other questions for planning? Okay. Code enforcement, we've, year-to-date, 5 new homes. There's been 10 homes completed so far this year that's been given a CO. 112 building permits issued so far this year. There's 21 special use permits year-to-date. 19 violations issued last month and 7 citations have been issued year-to-date. I think we mentioned it on the last one, we'll say it again, a part-time code enforcement officer has been working for, I guess, 4 weeks now, Kelsey Dedman, and he's doing a tremendous job. I got one more training course next week in Fort Smith on electrical certification, and that should do it as far as training for this year. Any questions under code enforcement?
The citations, what are they? Example of a citation.
Well, I mean, we give out a violation, whether it be grass, trash, parking, this, that, and yonder. If they do not do it within the specified time in order to get it done, then we'll go out and write them a citation, which is the same thing as, they write a ticket. I have the police, they go out and issue the citation. They're given a court date. We go to court.
Gotcha.
But I think that, explain the letter, don't you send a letter before it goes to citation?
No, well, we If we go out and there's no one home, we post it at the house, we take a picture of that posting, we send out a regular first class mail and certified mail. Now, if the homeowner is home and we hand deliver that to them, we don't have to send out the mail. And then they have the specified time in order to get that code violation fixed.
And that's why you'll see postage under code enforcement.
Yeah.
I have a question. Because Fairfield Bay has a lot of widows, unfortunately. What if, and I just heard of this yesterday, a widow lady that has had a lot of medical problems, she got a citation. Do we have somebody that you can refer that person to mow that yard, or
Yes.
they're just all on their own?
I mean, I can give several people in the bay that do
Okay,
yard cutting.
okay, so you do have, for those ladies and or gentlemen that can't mow their yards anymore, you have someplace they can call you and you can refer someone.
How much you
They'll
paying for it? How much you paying?
Put it on the business.
I paid to have my yard done already, but you do have,
You know, the list I get out is everybody that I know of that does yard maintenance. I'll give them
okay,
all of them, so not to give any preferential treatment to anyone coming from my
okay,
office.
that's good, thank you.
Those are church too.
And some of those people never leave their
Yeah, well,
homes.
then- And you might tell Patty that
Yeah.
their church does some of it.
And there has been some issues where men's groups have offered to go do it.
Because some of those men and women do not leave their homes, you know, so, okay, I was just curious, thank you,
Could you give us a quick update on Jack's?
yeah.
Or,
I can do that.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry, I'm not happy that I was up there, but Dallas was in a hurry to get up there and speak.
You know me somewhere?
So, Wednesday, they are bringing in their 40-foot tank that weighs 20,000 pounds.
This goes in the ground.
Goes in the ground. And they will have a large crane coming in with it to attach the tank to put it in the ground. They've already put in the concrete pad with the anchor bolts. So Wednesday morning, they will lower the tank in, they will bind it, and then they will put excess of, I think, 10,000 gallons of water, fresh water in the tank to make sure that the stability of the foundation is good and also that the tank doesn't leak. And then they will pump that fresh water out. Just let everyone know that the water that they're pumping out is fresh water, it's not contaminated, and so they will let that water run down the roadway into the ditch. Okay. We anticipate that we have another 10 more days of work there to complete the actual completion of the tank and getting the dispensers back up and getting Jack's back up to running gas. Okay. I know code enforcement is closely monitoring the contractor that will be doing the dispenser hookups, make sure that the electrical wiring, the installation is done correctly. We did have a meeting with them about a month ago.
That's correct.
And code enforcement was very adamant that the contractor will have a certified electrician doing all the work. And we've been there every day to just listen to the contractors and monitor their progress, you know, and everything seems to be going pretty well so far.
Excellent.
Okay? Any questions? Back to you, Dallas.
All right, any other questions for code enforcement? All right, Parks and Rec,
There you go.
pretty much, that just says we've ordered some stuff at the campground now. Our host will be leaving at the end of the month. One is actually staying, you know, through the fall and winter. We have another group that's gonna come in, a couple that's gonna come in and stay. So we'll be organizing stuff for them to do down there. I think they meets over 24 hours a week, is that right? So they'll be doing projects through the fall, winter, and spring down there. So we should be in a lot better shape come next year and not have to, rely on others to do, as much work. So they'll be working down there through the fall and winter. And I'll be organizing that with them. Any questions about Parks and Recs? Going once, going twice.
You're off that.
I just want to say one more thing. Thanks for a fantastic job. We appreciate you.
There you go.
AMP.
AMP.
Oh, AFP.
And two residents.
Okay, we met on September 24th to discuss a new funding request, and we didn't have a quorum for that, so we just discussed tacos and tunes. The next tacos and tunes will be March 28th of 2026, because they scheduled something on the 4th Saturday at the Conference Center, which is Remnants of Rock. Everybody go to that. And then we met again on October 8th, we're 2000, I skipped a 2 in there, to approve funding request for the Arkansas Weather Watcher. And that's about it.
Can we get that camera on the marina?
So
Well, I think we had it, yeah, I think he.
there's a reason, there's a technical reason, it's because they're wiring, it'd probably be easier on top of the hotel.
Oh, that's too
But
bad.
we're still talking.
Okay. Well, I had told someone that it'll be a very nice view of Sugarloaf Mountain, and it's like, okay, I like that.
And then they saw you on the top of the thing and said, I don't see Sugarloaf. Any questions? Richard could have to answer, but.
You're a troublemaker.
Yes, I am.
Chamber of Commerce.
Here she comes.
Loves company.
Hi, I'm Teresa Burden. I'm the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce. We've had a very successful month. Oktoberfest, we were able to add 17 associate members. Our goal is to add as many as we can to show support for our businesses here. And so I have listed them, and we will have lists in our office for when businesses come in, they can see that we're supporting them beyond just the businesses that's in our area. So our goal is to increase that as many members as that we can. So if anybody wants to join, you get the luxury of having our monthly newsletter that will spell out all the events that's coming in the next month. And also, it'll also spell out any events that we have planned throughout the school year. I just went back to school, didn't I? Old habits die hard. My board reduced the membership to 25 for individual members and 35. It was at 45 because our statement is that we want support and we want to show support. And so then also at Oktoberfest, we added 4 new businesses. Well, the dock we added earlier. The new owners came in and we discussed membership at that point, and we added 3 at Oktoberfest. So we're having our Mockingbird Mountain Resort ribbon cutting ceremony on October the 25th at 1 o'clock. So anybody that can show up to help support that, we are tickled to have them as a part of our chamber.
Is that at the campground or
Say that again, sir?
is it at Mockingbird?
It is at Mockingbird. They're having a big thing that starts at 11 o'clock, but our ribbon cutting is going to be at 1. They've got a band coming in, they've got food trucks and everything like that. The owners there are out of Dallas, so we were lucky to get to meet them. I have 4 more business prospects, and my husband was able to obtain one yesterday on his way back from Tennessee. He went to Tennessee to watch the Razorback play, and the guy that went with him is going to join us, and he's out of Greenbrier. So we're excited about that prospect too. So the more that we can add, the better we are in Fairfield Bay. Our chamber events, our doggy sales went wonderful. We hope to have our calendar up and running with the help of Dan by the Festival of Trees on December the 6th. We have a printer, we have all of our ad sponsors, we have our dogs, and so now it's just a matter of putting it all together. So we're excited about that. The Festival of Trees, we've added new categories because the more the merrier as far as winning. We want more people to come out and support. So we have one category that's called Magazine Ready. Another one is Traditional Christmas, Whimsical Christmas, Old-Fashioned Christmas, and overall winners. And we're doing wreaths and trees. We are engaging our student artwork from around the region, and we have judges from the Art Council coming in and judging those. So we will be giving out certificates and awards for them, and then we will also make a donation to the classroom teacher from each school who has the winning artwork, where they can buy supplies for their classroom. So supporting our schools is one of my high priorities. We have our cookie and soup sale again. Santa Claus is actually going to be there on December the 5th. We are working with the Christmas Council to coordinate the parade and everything. So we'll have events on the 5th, and then we'll have the Festival of Trees on the 6th. So all that things will be coming out. I have a meeting with them on Wednesday to establish all that. We're doing a little bit different of our tour of lights. We're going to have a day and a night decoration for the people that want to light up. They can join in that, and then we're going to have a category just for yard decorations. So that way it'll give more people an opportunity to join in on our festivities. The New Year Bash is off and running. We've got the casino coming, silent auction. We have a Mardi Gras theme, and Lively Band has already been booked for our concerts. Anybody have any questions or comments at this time?
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
We're kind of kicking around a website that is just Fairfield Bay website.
Yes,
Because we have so many different websites.
absolutely.
That's on your website, correct?
Yes.
Are other items allowed to be on that website?
This website is just due to chamber members.
Okay.
So the joining of the chamber gets you the access to our website.
Okay, what about the city?
The city, I think, has its own.
No, yeah, we do have, the city of, it's fairfieldbayarkansas.com, but we're also members of the chamber.
Yes.
So we could put our meetings on there and other.
Yeah, the city is a member of our
Yeah,
chamber.
but you don't
Yes.
want to put, you don't want our meetings on there.
No, this is more like events that when
Meeting
tourists
goes on
and all that comes
the-
in.
The
I'm just
city
trying to,
website.
still trying to
So-
get, can people respond to what you put on there?
No,
Okay, that's what I'm gonna go to now.
Yes.
We've been talking a long time about a master calendar. Are
Yes.
we getting close to that?
we are getting very
There
close
we
to that.
go.
We've already had meetings, and we're going to continue with those meetings, and we've been working on getting everything set before we release it, so we hope that by the first of the year that we can have a calendar that's set for the whole year of any events that's going to happen. We know there's going to be add-ons, but we're going to try to get our major events where we can start publicizing them out more to the state of Arkansas and all, and just that way people can start making plans for our events. So we are in that process.
All right.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, conference center. Guess that's me.
Ginger's got a big thing over there tonight, she's short-handed, so.
All right, conference center 2025, projected conferences and events 15, projected participants 980, projected hotel room nights 700. 2026, 24 projected conferences already, over 4,000 projected participants for 2026, projected hotel room nights 7,200. Wow, that's right. 2027, already 6 events and conferences planned, over 200 projected participants, and 400 projected hotel room nights for 2027 already as well. Volunteer hours, 830 hours, saved $12,450 according to those volunteer hours that we saved from the bottom line. Service evaluation 3.2 as of September 30. Categories affected, food and beverage, hotel check-in. On September, there are 5 events.
What is the top rating? Is it a 4 or is it a 5?
4, yeah, so that can be a little confusing. It's like 3.2, 3.2 out of 4, yeah. Yeah, we should put that in there. Operations update, they're converting the 2011 desktop to laptop. Windows 10 expires on October 11th, 2025. I know, yeah, so remaining activities for 2025, October, there'll be 7 events, November 4 events, December 5 events. And congratulations to Beverly Ward as the new director of the Fairfield Bay Conference Center.
So when will this be done?
Here? Yeah, when do we get here?
She will be here. She's out of town until next week, so she will be here to make your appearance. So her start date is October 27th, 2025.
Was she'll live here?
She lives here.
Yeah.
She lives here, okay, that's good.
Maybe she can come to the work session.
I think she had pre-planned vacation.
Sure, yeah.
We have vacations.
Hawaii.
so-
Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, well, we can't compete with that.
So, yeah, the October 27th will be her start date, and it was a very interesting process, but I think that she's going to do really well.
Have you told Cheryl to send something out?
No, but I will.
Just a quick comment, Benny had mentioned that both the food, I think the food and the hotel check-in were both issues related to the hotel, which was not anything that the conference center had any control of.
Exactly. Yes.
So,
And it's been, it's, sometimes the rating system can be a little wacky, but the real judge is whether there are cars in the parking lot. And as you can tell, there have been more conferences recently than not. So that's good.
Actually, I think there was a rating that Ginger gave time before last, that was like 3.65 or something. That the conference center, they have a sheet at the end.
yeah.
And so this 3.20 is include the hotel check-ins and so forth.
We're off.
Yes.
Well, there is no report there from the animal rescue, and I know the first comment's gonna be it's not the department.
No, she sent it in, but it was too late to add it to the agenda.
You
I'm
did
sorry.
get one? Okay,
Yes, I
good.
did. If you'd like to see it, I will print it out.
I have a copy of it already, but
Okay.
it should be part of this.
She sent it at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I was not about to change the agenda.
Yeah, I didn't get mine until Sunday, so, okay, but see that, that's all.
I mean, if she doesn't send it in time, I can't put it in, so all I can do is ask.
All right, so time for new business.
You want to take a break? We're only 42 minutes in, I'm sitting in a half hour.
We're moving quick.
Okay.
Had 2 copies here. An update for resolution.
Bye,
for
Teresa.
food pantry.
Where we at?
They're all in order.
All right, a resolution of the City of Fairfield, Bay, Arkansas, approving modification to the memorandum of understanding with Bay Area EMS Inc., a nonprofit entity doing business as part of the Fairfield Bay Food Pantry for the Senior Community Center in the City of Fairfield Bay and for other purposes. Whereas the City of Fairfield Bay in 2024 revised and updated its lease for certain facilities for use as a food pantry to provide a meal at the Senior Community Center 1 day per week, and whereas the City of Fairfield Bay seeks to revise the lease for use of its kitchen and other facilities at the Senior Community Center to Bay Area EMS Inc., doing business as Heart of the Bay Fairfield Bay Food Bank, to provide a meal 1 day per month instead of 1 day per week, as discussed at the recent City Council work session, and whereas the City Council seeks to authorize the mayor to agree with Bay Area EMS Inc. to make this revision, as the council, the mayor, and the leasee all know and understand that modifications to the city lease of real property shall only be made with the concurrence of the City Council in a formal written manner. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, that one, the City Council and the mayor approve a revision to the July 2024 Memorandum of Understanding with Bay Area EMS Inc. to lease the kitchen and other facilities of the Fairfield Bay Senior Community Center for a 2-year term, by making a one-word change to the Memorandum of Understanding in the first sentence of paragraph 8 as set forth herein, substituting the word month for the word week, so that the first sentence of the paragraph 8 now reads, 8, separately, Heart of the Bay agrees to provide 1 meal per month at the Senior Community Center. 2, the City Council thanks those who have established the food bank and provide a monthly meal at the Senior Center. 3, this resolution shall become effective immediately upon receipt of a valid signature by an authorized agent of Bay Area EMS Inc., and then by publication by the Recorder Treasurer in a local newspaper of general circulation in the City of Fairfield Bay. No other modifications are approved by the council at this time. 4, the mayor and Recorder Treasurer be and they are hereby authorized to make any and all actions necessary to obtain the agreement of Bay Area EMS Inc. by having an authorized agent sign a copy of the resolution on the second page and to proceed with efforts necessary for the city to update the lease of the kitchen and other facilities at the Senior Community Center according to the revised items of the memorandum of understanding and set forth herein. It is so considered and resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay on this, the 13th day of October 2025.
I make a motion to accept it.
Second.
Discussion?
We discussed this already, and it was unanimously, all parties would like us to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I will start with roll. Roger Goodman.
Yes.
Sandra Crowder.
Yes.
Bruce Cox. Yes. Richard Matthews.
Yes.
Patty Lightfoot.
Yes.
And Bella Thomas. Yes. That'll be 2025-36.
When do you need this?
A resolution of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas authorizing the payment of overtime for police officers pursuant to grant authorization, amending the budget for the police department for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, appropriating funds and for other purposes. Whereas the City Council has had an ongoing review of the city's anticipated expenditures for the current fiscal year, including compliance with the city's 2025 budget ordinance as amended from time to time, and whereas the city has previously applied for and received certain funding for a selective traffic enforcement program grant in a funding cycle that ended on September 30th, 2025, and the city successfully completed that grant in the time frame required, and whereas the mayor and the chief of police again requested the council authorize them to pay overtime to city police officers who participate in enforcement actions pursuant to a federally supported state of Arkansas grant for the police department for the current fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025, since a new grant funding cycle began October 1, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, 1, that the City Council authorizes and approves application for grant funding in this new grant cycle beginning October 1st, 2025, and further authorizes and approves the payment of overtime to police officers for the limited purpose of supporting any selective traffic enforcement STEP program, grant work, or any other similar federal or state grant funding. The police department shall report overtime hours eligible for grant reimbursement separately. The recorded treasurer shall make payments of overtime hours in a manner that allows identification of grant eligible overtime hours for each officer participating. 2, the City Council hereby appropriates additional funds for the police department for the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025 accordingly, in an amount not to exceed $20,000 for the payment of overtime and associated taxes at a rate not to exceed time and a half of the officer's regular rate of pay. The recorded treasurer is authorized to use unappropriated general revenue funds and unappropriated reserves in the franchise tax account for the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025. The 2025 city budget ordinance will be amended as part of the annual closing process. The council anticipates that this grant again requires the city to float the funds to be reimbursed to the city after the expenditures are made. Reimbursement pursuant to the grant shall be credited to the account balances from which the funds are drawn. 3, the City Council takes this action at the mayor's or the city police's request after reluctantly reducing some spending proposals made in the acting mayor's proposed 2025 budget on December 2nd, 2024, and to provide necessary resources to the chief of police to assist him in participating again in the STEP grant program, which began a new funding cycle on October 1, 2025. The mayor, the chief of police, and the recorded treasurer shall take any and all steps necessary to put this resolution into effect. Funding and payment of the expenditures shall take place upon authorization by the chief of police and approval of the mayor and the exercise of their discretion. This resolution is immediately effective on and after the date of its enactment. Posting publication of the newspaper in the newspaper will take place according to the recorded treasurer's normal schedule. So be it resolved and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, on this 13th day of October 2025 at the regular meeting of the City Council, non-pro-tunc, to October 1st, 2025. It will be appropriate to move to approve resolution as read.
I make a motion to approve this resolution.
Second.
Discussion?
I mentioned earlier when Officer Hudson, I believe, was, Horton, I'm sorry, was talking about, if we could put a line item in their report, you know, how many hours.
Yeah, I
I do, it should come out, I don't think. It's called STEP program.
Step program,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Because I have to print up what, it's separate from their regular pay. So yeah, I'll put it in there.
Try to do it.
For budgeting purposes, is this 20,000 for all year, or is this just?
As I understand it, that 20,000 is for the 10 mobilizations that'll be in the fiscal year 2026.
Okay.
And also I'll clarify, so this is somebody else on the council asked me the question earlier. The new grant cycle began on October 1st. And so irrespective of when, if there's a possibility of incurring any of the debt, irrespective of when the payments are made, if the payment is made, let's just say it's the 31st of December, 2025, we have to have an appropriation for it, even if we don't pay it until next year.
Okay.
So the appropriation has to be done, and this way, as I talked to the other council member, if we do it all at once, nobody knows how much we spend when. So if there's 10 different events that we're approved for, those events take place as the city police department and the state of Arkansas determine without telling the rest of the world. Now, they might advertise, but they might not, because it's their enforcement
I
option.
guess what I was asking, when we're budgeted, you got this income coming in, you got what expenses in there too.
Yes, sir.
So are we gonna spend it in 25 if we reimburse in 26? Is that what you're?
If you incur the debt in 25, even if you don't pay it till 26, you still have to have an appropriation.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I'm talking for me.
I'm concerned about appropriation, I'm concerned, you gotta show the receipt, because we're doing two different cycles, the federal versus cities.
Yep, and then so this all has to be in your 2026 budget, you have to appropriate the same money again.
Right.
Yep. Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
So we'll have to put in 20,000 or 26.
Yep, same money, 2 different years.
Okay.
Yep.
I've got a motion and a second, and I've had some discussion. Do I have any more discussion? If somebody doesn't have their hand up, so I guess I'm gonna go roll call. Ruth Crotts?
Yes.
Sandy Crowder?
Yes.
Roger Hooper?
Yes.
Bella Thomas? Yes. Patty Lightner?
Yes.
And Richard Matthews?
Yes.
That'll be 2025-37. Now, I put this one in there, AJ, because I wasn't sure if you wanted it put in there for reference.
Nope, not for me.
Okay, well then, take the 13 and do whatever you want.
This is, all right, this is for commissions.
No, we're not doing that. That was just for reference.
This is for conference center pay commissions and year-end bonuses. A resolution of the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, revising resolution number 2025-13 for the Fairfield Bay Conference Center to pay commissions and year-end bonuses, appropriating funds for new employees at the conference center and for other purposes. Whereas, as part of its ongoing review of the 2025 budget, the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay joins the mayor, the recorder treasurer, and the budget committee in approving revisions to terms of payment of certain commissions and year-end bonuses. And whereas the budget committee has worked with the staff of the conference center, including sales ambassadors, and has worked out a revision to the commission basis for booking the conference center building as well as year-end bonuses structure based on a reduction in the anticipated loss from the business plan presented and approved during the 2025 budget cycle on or before December 2nd, 2025. And whereas the city needs to take appropriate action to plan for the retirement of personnel at the conference center, to train new personnel, and to ensure adequate staffing at the conference center for the following year, now therefore be it resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, that the City Council authorizes the mayor of Fairfield Bay to pay commissions to up to 5 sales ambassadors at the Fairfield Bay Conference Center for the 2025 budget year ending on December 31st, 2025. These sales commissions shall be limited to 10% of the booking of the rental of the building, Fairfield Bay Conference Center, plus 5% of the food and beverage, not including alcohol, costs for that booking, plus reimbursement for meals and mileage expenses related to that booking. Reimbursement for meals and mileage expenses combined are capped at no more than $200 for each respective booking. Further, meal and mileage expenses shall require proper documentation, including receipts and mileage logs in accordance with the city's policy for such reimbursements, and commissions and and expense reimbursements are payable to the salesperson responsible for the booking, and further are payable no sooner than 14 days after irrevocable receipt of good funds for rental of the Fairfield Bay Conference Center building and receipt of good funds for food and beverages. City Council approves an exception to its on-site work requirement for sales ambassadors who are presumed not to work on-site in the city of Fairfield Bay. 2, the City Council authorizes the mayor of Fairfield Bay to pay her year-end bonuses to the Conference Center sales director and Conference Center coordinator based on a reduction in net loss realized from the business plan as budgeted on or before December 2nd, 2024 for the year ending December 31st, 2025. The total amount of funds available for year-end bonuses will be 20% of the reduction in net loss of the Conference Center as anticipated on or before December 2nd, 2024. Calculation of the net loss for these purposes shall be done without including the cost of year-end bonuses themselves. Employees, full-time and part-time hired on or after September 15, 2025 shall not be eligible for bonuses set forth herein for the year ending December 31st, 2025. The City Council previously appropriated $20,000 for use at the City of Fairfield Bay Conference Center for such commissions and year-end bonuses for the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025. The City Council will follow up with a formal ordinance closing the 2025 budget year and sometime before April 1st, 2026, amending the 2025 budget ordinance separately, resolution number 2025-13, same subject matter, be and is hereby amended accordingly. The City Council hereby authorizes and approves the hiring of 2 additional persons at the Fairfield Bay Conference Center, 1 full-time person to train and then substitute for an employee who is given adequate notice of end of employment, and 1 part-time person to provide additional assistance with operations at the Conference Center. The City Council hereby appropriates additional funding for the personnel identified in paragraph 4 at the Conference Center in the amount of $20,000 to include salaries, benefits, and related costs and expenses for the 2 additional persons identified above for the calendar year ending December 31st, 2025. The source of all funds shall be unappropriated revenue from the Conference Center sales, unappropriated general funds revenue if available, and unappropriated revenue in the city's franchise tax account. In accordance with its usual practice, the city will amend its 2025 budget ordinance as part of its annual closing process before April 1st, 2026. The mayor and recorded treasurer shall take any and all steps necessary to put this resolution into effect. This resolution is immediately effective upon publication by posting, although newspaper publication is also required. So be it resolved and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas on this 13th day of October 2025 at a regular meeting of the City Council.
Second.
Who said, or you, second?
Discussion.
What does AJ have to say?
The only thing I would say is that I just want to point out that we're working on revision 3, so if you are on the wrong revision, some of the language might not work out. But he did read something that Rose passed out to everyone on the council, whether you got it in email or not.
The 13th.
Revision 3 dated October 13th, 2025. Yes, ma'am. Paragraph 3 at the bottom is the last line on page 3.
This is the
This, the one that he just read is the one I handed out.
Yeah, I'm pointing out that it should say REV3. That should be the last line of the last page.
Okay.
Because they did not get it by email.
I know, and I came through and I substituted everybody.
I was just trying to clarify. because I
Okay,
think somebody might
okay,
read-
I thought I screwed up somewhere.
No.
So we're talking about 3 different structures here, just so I'm clear. First one being the 10 and 5, which we talked about with Benny.
Don't look at me.
Right? Okay, 10 and 5,
Right.
which is number 1. And then the second one is the reduction of net loss. That would be the 20% if they reduce their loss. However much is reduced, then 20% of that gets distributed. Who does that go to?
The sales director and the sales coordinator, which we.
Gotcha.
And that
then-
is something we passed back in March.
Okay,
We passed that tomorrow.
I just want, yeah.
And so we're just.
Yeah. And then the third one was was the year-end bonuses?
The third one was the 2 new employees.
For the volunteer sales.
If I could clarify, so in paragraph 2, the change in paragraph 2 is that we remove the volunteer salespeople.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that was the only change, so a slight potential for increase to the other 2. And then paragraph 3 is just a restatement of facts, which is that money was already appropriated, and this is not a new appropriation for those things above.
Gotcha.
And then the new appropriation is for the 2 things below.
Gotcha.
So the 2 potential new employees. One of whom has been hired, and the other, somebody might start looking for. I can only imagine.
Any discussion? Sandy Crowder, are you ready? You done? Roger, you got something? Sandy Crowder?
Yes.
Ruth Cox?
Yes.
Richard Matthews?
Yes.
Patty Lightner?
Yes.
Bella Thomas?
Yes.
And Roger Huber.
Yes.
That will be 2025-38.
And the last one concerning fire department potential grants. Oh, it's not the last one, I apologize. Potential grants. The last one is more fun. A resolution of the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, authorizing applications for 2 potential grants from the Fairfield Bay Fire Department to purchase equipment and for other purposes. The city has recently enacted an ordinance requiring city departments to present to the City Council for approval any grant applications that would require an appropriation of city funds by the City Council, and the fire department has the opportunity to reapply or to apply for 2 different grants that do not require the city to match funds, but may require the city to float funds and seek reimbursement after an authorized purchase. Now therefore, be resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, that the City Council authorizes the mayor of Fairfield Bay, the recorder treasurer, and the fire department chief to apply for a first responder grant for life-saving equipment, personal protective gear, and training for first responders, which grant does not require the city to match the grant funds. This authorization is valid through the year ending December 31st, 2025. The chief of the fire department shall notify the City Council through the recorder treasurer in writing if the city is required to prepay funds. Authorization before December 31st, 2025 to apply for this type of grant is approved for a first responder grant that may require prepayment of funds not to exceed $9,999.99. Without further action from the City Council, funding requirements greater than $10,000 should require separate approval on a case-by-case basis before application is made. This authorization to apply for such a grant expires on December 31st, 2025, but may be renewed by the council after passage of the 2026 budget ordinance. 2, that the City Council authorizes the mayor of Fairfield Bay, the recorder treasurer, and the fire department chief to apply for a Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation grant for life-saving equipment, prevention tools, and disaster response resources, which grant does not require the city to match the grant funds. This authorization is valid through the year ending December 31st, 2025. The chief of the fire department shall notify the City Council through the recorder treasurer in writing if the city required to prepay funds. Authorization before December 31st, 2025 to apply for this type of grant is approved for a Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation grant that may require prepayment of funds not to exceed $9,999.99 without further action by the City Council. Funding requirements greater than $10,000 should require separate approval on a case-by-case basis before application is made. This authorization to apply for such a grant expires on December 31st, 2025, but may be renewed by the council after passage of the 2026 budget ordinance. 3, the mayor, the recorder treasurer, and the fire department chief shall take any and all steps necessary for this resolution into effect. This resolution is immediately effective upon publication by posting. All newspaper publications also required. Appropriation of funds to require separate action by the council in the usual course of its business. So be it resolved and approved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, on this 13th day of October, 2025, at a regular meeting of the City Council. It would be appropriate to move to approve the resolution as read.
Make a motion. Second.
Discussion? Do you know anything about this? So you can answer? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if there's any questions, but just in case.
The 2 grants that the fire department's looking at is, one is to buy turnouts, or to purchase turnouts for the firefighters. We've got several firefighters right now that do not have turnouts, so they
Are
are,
these the SCBA?
they're the PPE, so personal
Okay.
protective
So
equipment.
is it the structure or the vegetation?
What's that?
Oh, I don't know if you.
No, the turnouts are for structure fires.
Yeah, okay, because there's, well, we have 2 sets, so I don't know if you guys do
Yeah,
that.
the firefighter is ineffective when he doesn't have turnouts. In other words, he cannot fight a structure fire because of the heat. So that's one. really important that we get this grant. The second one is our Motorola radios. Most of our Motorola radios, like this one right here, is somewhat outdated. So we got the opportunity to purchase new ones that are digital and have a longer range to them. With these right here, it's pretty much line of sight, where the digital ones, we can actually talk to someone that's on the side of the hill, which is it's needed.
You have dead spots in the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times we'll have tankers on the other side of the hill that we're trying to communicate to. We can't. We have to send letters back and forth. And we need to let them know, bring your tanker forward, we need the water now. So.
Would that replace all the outdated model?
It will replace most of them, but not all of them.
And what's the turnover suit?
A turnout suit,
Yeah, what's it cost now?
you're looking at right around about $2,000.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
My husband was a volunteer firefighter, and whatever y'all need, we need to grant for you. They have to have that equipment.
You definitely have to have equipment.
Otherwise, they could be in the middle of a fire and nobody knows they're there.
Well, if it's a structure fire or even a grass fire, our standard operating procedure is if you don't have your protective equipment on, you cannot go fight the fire, period.
But some of them do anyway.
Some
We
of them
know
do.
that.
That is a true statement. Some of these rural firefighters out here will get out there and you can get 30 feet or 30 yards from a structure fire and the temperature is almost 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, your eyelashes are sizzling. So that's why it's so important to have that equipment on, from the hard hat down to the boots.
Yep, I agree.
So,
If I could add in just, I think everybody knows this is really for the general public, which is that because there's a dedicated funding stream to the fire department that is part of our sales tax money goes to them directly, generally funding these kinds of grants, even if we just have to float the funds, we generally have enough money to do it. But he needed authorization based on our new ordinance, so I'll make sure that everybody knows that funding should not be an issue for these, so the authorization should be.
They should get what they need.
thank you.
Any more discussion from the council? No discussion? Ruth?
Yes.
Richard?
Yep.
Patty?
Yes.
Bella? Yes. Roger?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes.
The 2025-39.
Thank you.
What?
The last resolution is concerns a renewal of the same rate for tax millage that had been imposed. The state requires an annual renewal, and this goes to the county. They require to get this before November 1st, so usually we do this every November. I'm sorry, every October. Excuse me. Resolution of the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, authorizing a millage rate of property tax for the City of Fairfield Bay for the year 2025 to be collected in 2026 in both Van Buren and Cleveland counties, Arkansas. To continue the millage rate that has been in effect since it was first imposed and for other purposes, whereas Arkansas Code annotated section 26-25-102 provides that a city may levy a tax on the real and personal property located within the city for the purpose of raising general fund revenues in any 1 year pursuant to the provisions of the Arkansas Constitution, and whereas Arkansas Code annotated section 26-73-202 requires the City Council of any municipality to make out and certify to the county clerks the rate of taxation levied by the city on the real and personal property within the city, and whereas the City Council has determined that it is in the best interest of the City of Fairfield Bay to levy the rate of taxation on the real and personal property located within the city as set forth below, and to certify the same to the county clerks of Van Buren and Cleveland counties, and to authorize the quorum courts of Van Buren and Cleveland counties to levy said tax for the tax year for the year ending December 31st, 2025, to be collected in 2026, which is consistent with the manner in which the city has levied and collected taxes for more than a decade. Now, therefore, be resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas, that 1, the property tax rate for the City of Fairfield Bay general fund revenue on the real and personal property situated within the city and to be collected in the year 2026 shall be fixed and levied at the rate of 5.0 mills on each dollar of assessed value of real and personal property. This is the current rate of taxation and has been for more than a decade. 2, the rate of taxation levied herein on the real and personal property within the city shall, by this resolution, be certified respectively to the 2 county clerks to be placed upon the tax books and collected in the same manner that the state and county taxes are collected. 3, the Quorum Court of Van Buren County and the Quorum Court of Cleveland County be, and they are hereby authorized to levy this tax as set forth herein for real and personal property located within the city of Fairfield Bay for the year 2025 to be collected in 2026 at their regular meetings in November 2025 according to law. It is so resolved by the City Council for the City of Fairfield Bay, Arkansas at its regular City Council meeting on this 13th day of October 2025. It would be appropriate to move to approve the resolution.
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Okay, discussion? I have a question. Somebody asked me, what's the max? Is that the max?
We are at the max that can be done without a vote of the people,
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Which is half a mil.
They just asked, and I said, I think we're there, but I wasn't sure.
It can be more, but it requires a vote of the
The
city.
people, okay. Okay. Discussion? Okay.
Yes, sorry. I'm not used to you calling me.
I'm trying to throw you off. Philip?
Yes.
Roger?
Yes.
Sandra?
Yes.
Ruth?
Yes.
Richard?
Yes.
That'll be 2025-40. Okay, now we have,
Short-term rental renewals?
Yeah.
These, Mayor? How are you doing? You do. Short-term rental renewal
we
for
lost him, he's sleeping over there.
310 Lakeview Drive. No, he's paying close attention because that was really important. He gave me the look, he gave me the side eye.
I kicked him under the table, you just didn't see it.
Short-term rental renewal for 310 Lakeview Drive. The Planning Commission has recommended approval, and so it's up to the council to approve. Motion to approve would be appropriate.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? None? Okay, Richard Matthews,
Yes.
Patty Lightner,
Yes.
Bella Thomas,
Yes,
Ruth
100%.
Cox.
Abstain.
Oh, that's right. Don't forget about you with that. Sandra Crowder
Yes.
and Roger Hooper.
Yes.
Okay,
The second one is a short-term rental renewal at 218 Greenwood Road. The Planning Commission recommends approval.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
okay. Roger Hooper,
Yes.
Sandra Crowder,
Yes.
Ruth Cox,
Abstain.
got it. Richard Matthews,
Yes.
Patty Lightner.
Yes.
And Bella Thomas.
Yes. Welcome, Aaron.
And the third and final one, short-term rental renewal at 108 Deer Run Trail. Planning Commission recommends approval. It would be appropriate to move to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I have a question. What's half a bath? This is how many baths?
It only has a lavatory, it does not have a shower. or-
Gotcha. Okay, just big questions.
Sink and stool.
If we had room into that.
Gotcha.
It decreases your value on your house.
Really better than not having the sink and stool.
Okay.
Good to know.
Okay.
That's funny.
Bella Thomas.
Yes.
Patty Lightner.
Yes.
Richard Matthews.
Yes.
Ruth Cox.
Abstain.
And Sandy Crowder.
Yes.
And Roger Hooper.
Yes.
Okay, then we have public comment.
Nope. the new-
Oh, no, I'm sorry. We had to add the bid.
You want to read it, or how do you want to do it?
I don't know.
I'll read your
I think
letter.
you
How's
just
that?
read the letter.
This is a letter from, dated today, from our favorite civil engineering associates, employee Trey Foster, our professional engineer. Dear Mayor Connell, please find enclosed a copy of the bid tabulations for the reference project, the project is the Fairfield Bay ATV UTV Trailhead RTP-19S, Arkansas Department of Transportation job number 080632, FAP RTP-1302-327, award recommendation. The city received two responsive bids. After review of the bids, it is recommended that the city accept the lowest bid submitted by Steep Creek LLC of Greenbrier, Arkansas, in the amount of $312,098.56. In order to proceed, the city must officially accept the recommended low bid and submit a request for concurrence in the award to RDOT, stamp letter enclosed. Upon receipt of the RDOT's concurrence, we will issue the notice of award to the low bidder and request that they submit a signed contract, bonds, and insurance for the project. A pre-construction meeting will be held once these items are returned and prior to the issuance of the notice to proceed. If you have any questions or need additional information, please contact Trey Foster because the rest of us might not have full information. And so the bid tabulations are attached. And if you don't have your magnifying glass or if you need glasses, pull them out now. It would be appropriate to move to approve the low bid submitted.
I make a motion to approve the low bid submitted.
1 second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I have a couple questions.
Go ahead, Ruth.
How much was that grant for?
350.
I was thinking it was
Roger?
350.
She's looking at me, that was 5 years ago, I can't.
I'm thinking it was 350, but it wasn't.
I know it came, we thought it came in lower and it did not because there was something. That's why I wanted to do it while Dallas was here.
We changed the scope so many times that the question was, what would be the final scope? And I think the final scope was determined by the city council, I want to say roughly 6 months ago. We passed a resolution, we authorized Trey to put this out for bid. And I know that this came in, one of the bids came in below, I think the other one might have been over.
One was very over, but there was something with this amount.
Not a big deal. His letter is pretty straightforward, which is it met the requirements.
And this is for the total project,
Yes.
the parking and the stage
Yes, and I
the
think what he
bathroom.
said is there's some discrepancy with the bathroom. So they kind of added the stuff on the top because they kind of overdid the plumbing
Oh,
because they couldn't understand what they were asking.
okay.
So that's what he's gonna have lowered after we do the.
But for purposes of tonight, though, it is to accept the low bid.
Yes.
And to ask for RDOT to concur.
Yep.
And then
And then change.
if there's further changes later, he goes after we get concurrence from RDOT on the initial.
Okay.
Is this for the parking lot over by the Lions Club?
Yeah.
It's for the whole project.
And then
Stage and
the stage and
restroom.
bathroom up here,
Two different structures.
two different kinds of
Okay.
bathrooms.
Bathroom there, stage here.
And the bathroom.
Two locations.
Back here, UTV trailheads.
No, nothing at a trail.
Sandra has a question.
Sometimes it's great to go with the lowest bid, but maybe sometimes it's not. I do not misaccounted. So just a quick look here. Wagner General Contractors versus Steep Creek on HVAC, which is line 11 of restroom facilities. Wagner has it at 33,000. Steep Creek has it at 10. That's just a third. I mean, that's a lot cheaper. It makes you wonder, like, I mean, most of these numbers are pretty comparable, but that one was way off. And then the plywood ceiling, the general contractor is 3,000, or the Wagner's 3,000. Steep Creek is 11,000. So that's a big difference. Like, I'm wondering why.
Are these?
I think he's.
Because I'm seeing the same thing. My question is, are these buildings look the same? Do we have a rendering of them?
Well, they're.
I mean, everything looks.
Wrote it out, everything.
So they both are-
Dallas got the blueprint.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was earlier.
So-
Everybody said put it there.
They all bid on the same project.
So get me if I'm right, but the reason that the architect is the one weighing in here is because he sent the same design to both.
So it's the same design, so each guy's quoting the same project, but we've got a big difference in the heat and air and a big difference in the plywood
There's a
ceiling.
big difference in the trusses too, but probably some brother-in-law stuff going on there.
Maybe.
Well, I guess, basically,
No, he's
what the
used this
exact-
person before.
I don't know what the exact bid is, you know, what, but that bid comes close to what the Arkansas, the other one.
Have we used either one of these in the past?
I don't remember, I think we've used Steve, and I don't know about Wagner.
Trey's done work for us for how long?
Over 20.
Trey? Yeah.
Over 20 years. He'll, that's really one that didn't.
Yeah, but he's looked over it and because some of the numbers are way off one way, but then you go back down and the other guy, he's way over on a different one. But I guess at the end of the day,
It's about the same.
Just saying, and it goes down to where it says total base bid.
exactly.
You know, I mean, there's almost 100,000 difference.
Yeah, that makes it a difference.
And the other non-responsive, he came in at like the last minute. I think he probably got lost on the way.
It'd be nice if we had somebody that we've used before and we know
I
they do
think,
a good job.
Steve Creek did the paving for the, down to the trail, to the cave.
Yeah.
They did that.
And
I don't, it was something else, I'm not sure what else they
That's
did.
really nice.
Is it?
They did a nice
Yeah, I
job.
have heard that. And they had to go through it and finagle it all. Carry out a discussion.
I'll go with
For the project of this
Okay.
house.
Oh, wait, let's see, are we done? Wait, are we done?
Charging
Okay.
ATV, UTV users a daily, yearly fee to maintain these facilities and the trails.
Who?
Would the city be charging
Is the
it?
city gonna start charging
It,
ATV and UTVers
we could.
daily or seasonal charges to maintain the facilities and the trails?
I have a comment about that. Possibly, or a question. When this all came about, I asked somebody about that. Can we charge?
Yeah.
Because we should, because there are
Yeah.
lots of UTV things that charge money.
So,
But wait a minute, but I was told, hang on,
You go, girl.
thank you, I don't speak much when I do. That we, because these are quote city roads, that we can't charge for them. These are not, this is,
Well,
Right.
We
That-
spend $300,000 to have a facility to help the people.
It's a grant, so it's not, yeah.
but still, I
It's still
think,
not free money, folks, it's still.
what we're doing,
I'm like, let's charge, but someone told me that that wasn't.
You still have to maintain the
wasn't
trails, you
legal to
still
do
have to
that.
maintain the park.
AJ should know that question.
What was the question?
I'm just
Whether we
putting
can
you
charge
on.
or not?
I'm putting you on.
Those are city roads.
How
and they-
much should we charge the ATV?
I want you to put a toll booth, AJ, put the toll booth, just do it.
City permit is not out of line.
You're gonna love this answer. I'm sure, I promise you, this is my, I'm aware that Martin's here answer, so I have to make sure that I'm right. Which is this, that really is a political question for the council to decide what fees they will impose if they want to. If you're trying to draw people here, it might not be the way to go. But I don't know if this is to draw people, or if it's to drive people away. It's kind of up to you to decide.
That
How
could
do
be
you want it?
discussed at work session.
Since we're in the 6th year of the grant, I would say that it's, I mean, we are, I'm not.
I know.
That's true.
How many cities charge?
Since we're in the 6th year of the grant, my suggestion is that in the entire 6-year period, no one has ever proposed that we should charge people to pay for this because it was a grant that's outside of city funds. So if you want to do that, I don't want to tell you what to do because it's up to y'all. But so far, no one had proposed it to this point, and so I suggest that concerning this bid application, it might not be the right time to discuss it because it for sure is not on the agenda. And it definitely is not a legal question for me to answer. But it's, you know, if you needed a legal justification for it, I'd search for it if you want me to. You let me know what you want me to
Well,
do.
you could do some research, I mean.
I think we ought to talk about it at work session, because I think it would be a good thing to talk about.
And how many other
But
cities
at the
charge?
same time, I think we need to go ahead with it.
Yeah, that is both, yes.
Any more questions?
I would say this, and I agree with Sandra, is that once the facilities are built, you gotta maintain them. So the grant money gets you to get the facilities built, but the upkeep on a yearly basis that's just going to add more finances to the city taxpayer.
You're also increasing the amount of traffic, which, I mean, the police would be the ones responsible for, if the ATVs are going too fast or have an accident or whatever.
But it also should increase sales tax revenue when they're stopping.
There's a lot of possibilities, but really, I agree with what AJ's saying, I mean, we've gone, 5 years without that, discussion, but now that you're voting on, go ahead and go with the project, it's something that needs to be discussed in the coming months.
I agree. Yeah, Richard, I
So we
think
need
work
to vote on
session would be a
this
good part.
We
tonight.
need to just get the bid thing done.
This tonight,
It
and
wants
then
it.
we'll go.
It's only been 6 years.
We don't want to rush into anything.
But you got new players,
We have new
sitting around the round
players.
table.
Yeah, I say let's vote on this part tonight. Then we'll, in a work session, go over the other.
We're not
Excellent
choosing
idea.
Steep Creek tonight, it's a whole.
Yes, we are.
Stay vote?
Let's do it.
Richard Matthews,
Yes.
Patty Lightner,
Absolutely.
Mel Coleman,
Yes.
It's
Roger Cooper,
For 6 years, yes.
Lance Crowder,
Yes.
Ruth Cross.
Yes.
And that's not a number, and I would just have you guys sign that so I can get that to him tonight, and I'll send it out before I leave. Now we have, what's on our agenda?
Public comment.
Anybody on the list, Bruce, you're closest.
I'm sure there is.
Always says, MB, Martin Bailey.
King Goble.
Chief, but AJ's not here. That's not a problem. The first thing is, I'd like to thank the mayor, I'll give kudos when it's due. I received from him on Friday the agenda for the meeting, the proper agenda, and it's my fault for not sharing it publicly until Sunday. There are many areas that I have access to. But he did send it out timely. That was very good. I pray that the numerous committees and commissions start doing the same and following the laws like you did, sir.
Thank you.
We haven't had any meetings.
You had an AP meeting with 3 different time zones. But I do have a question. Months ago, we started a discussion on a $15,000 expenditure based on donations and whatnot to go towards the survey of the bike trail. That's been quiet for a while. Have we received the other 5,000? And if so, what's happened since then?
Oh, are you asking me?
Well, you and your body.
Well, it's one of the things we're still working on. And I'm not pushing this. We have a lot of projects going on concurrently. You see what we're doing with the AMP, you see the Weather Channel deals that we're doing. I'm not entirely facilitating that, but for all I know, the project is still going.
They can't go until the money's spent to pay for it, and it just seemed to be so urgent at the time, and now it's not.
Bridget?
Sorry, go ahead.
I think the last discussion we had was the community club was going to put in their 5, but from a city standpoint, I guess we did everything that we could do.
We've done what we can do, and the rest is
Correct. We received the other 5,000 from, let's see, community fund we got, it was,
Community club, AMP, but that was it.
Tri-Corps, thank you, that's the third one that we're waiting on. That means no work is getting done in the meantime.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I just said there's nothing that we're doing as more than one entity.
But
So.
if we're paying for a contract for work, supposedly the work can't start until the contract's done. Correct. Okay, that's, but the only point I have for tonight is going, hey, that suddenly went quiet.
Well, I would just say that from the city standpoint, that is not our project. Correct. Paying to fit the, I mean, we can't disperse the money that we receive, which would be 10,000 at this point, until we have another 5,000 from Tricor. And to this point, we haven't received that.
Or, and a contract to spend it.
All right.
Both of those.
Right.
Thank you.
Ken?
First, I'd like to thank our police officers, our firemen, our first responders, because you guys are our local heroes. And it's like, one of the meetings I came to a couple months ago, the police department's getting new body cams and other technologies, radios, whatever. You gotta have it, man, gotta have it, because we need you, and we want you to be safe. And that's with our firemen, our first responders, everything, It's like, you'll never hear us say, no, you can't have the equipment because you need it. You're here, you serve us, you protect us. Thank you, God bless you, and we want you to be safe. And then I want to say thanks to Patty about your concerns about, seniors in our community who aren't able to do things for themselves. I live in a neighborhood that I've got 4 individuals over 90 years of age. I'm trying to keep up, just touch base and see if they're doing okay, stuff like that. It's extremely important. So thank you.
And we have a lot of seniors.
Oh, yeah. And, I've complimented Roger in the past, Richard in the past when they, came up with concerns and stuff, so I just want to say thank you. That's great because, as of the last census, 59.5% of this community is senior citizens, and it's like, so, gotta start thinking about our neighbors, I do have some concerns, and one of the things, a couple months ago, I didn't make last month's meeting. The AEP commission is still over budget from what I read of $8,500 with 2 months remaining in 2025. Is that true or not?
No.
I'm not even gonna respond to that. I responded to it, I'm not gonna respond.
Not a straight answer.
She's given
To the
one.
auditor.
She's spoken to the auditor and we've been giving a thumbs up, so.
It's 317,000.
No things, there's debate about when meetings are being scheduled without public notice. Where are the meetings being done on public notice so that we, the people in Fairfield Bay, know what is on these notices?
Like Gary Weekly?
Okay, but the whole thing is,
It's on the website.
hundreds of people in this community have been blocked from that site.
I would say, I'm
Hey.
also putting it on the Fairfield Bay Members Forum as well.
Okay.
He's putting it more in one spot. Plus, we also have it on our website, fairfieldar.com.
It's always been on the website.
Consistently.
Not always. It wasn't started to be put on the website until August 5th.
That's when they went into effect. It's on the fourth Wednesday of the month is planning and zoning. The second Wednesday of the month, Monday of the month is planning as city council. I mean, we didn't have to put the agenda on there until August.
You didn't even post the meetings before.
The meetings are all.
The meetings are always here. They're always posted, always the same time.
They're always the same time, same. Always the same.
No, they're not.
They are consistent.
Committee meetings are not the same
Well,
time. Well, according to law, you have to publish them as well.
they're being published. They're just not being done.
No, they're not being published now.
All right. And yet you're here. We're done.
I make a move, shall we adjourn?
Thank you.